Congressman Mike Gallagher is a member of the House Armed Services Committee, and he joins me now. Congressman, are you in favor of sending tanks and heavy weapons to Ukraine? I'm really asking, are you prepared to let Ukraine win?
I am. I think this is a long overdue step, particularly in terms of sending them the Stryker vehicles. Reports out there indicating there are critical components missing in this package, however. The Ukrainians have requested the Army Tactical Missile System, for example, or ATACMS, as well as the Abrams tanks. I think the Ukrainians need ATACMS along with other critical capabilities, such as cluster munitions. There's something called the dual-purpose improved conventional munitions, and they also need Gray Eagle drones. But time after time, and this is really the issue, they're being turned away by this administration out of fear of provoking Putin. And I think that gets it exactly backwards. Every time we've provided new weapons like Stingers or HIMARS that the administration told us would be too provocative, Putin has done precisely nothing in response. So I do think we have to continue supporting the Ukrainians. To my friends and colleagues who are skeptical, we just passed the National Defense Authorization Act, which has critical audit provisions. We're going to get quarterly reports on the state of our munitions industrial base. And yes, of course, we need to push our European allies, Germany in particular, to do more, to step up. But they're only willing to follow so far as we're willing to lead. And the path to ending this war lies through strength, not weakness.
Congressman, the White House accuses your party, the Republican Party, of economic vandalism over the debt limit issue. They say, and I'm quoting now, default would needlessly plunge the country into economic chaos, collapse and catastrophe while giving your competitors like China an historic boost against us, end quote. Congressman, I think we should make it clear that we're not going to default on our debt. Would you make that clear? Because I think that's out of the question. Do you?
Well, it would certainly have negative consequences. What we're asking for is some sensible reforms packaged with a debt ceiling increase. And I do believe the American people gave House Republicans the majority to put a check on the runaway spending we've seen from the Biden administration, with inflation continuing to crush Americans, with the national debt continuing to grow at an astronomical pace. We have to find a way to inject some basic fiscal sanity. There's a variety of options out there. I have a bill called the Trust Act that would create rescue task forces for all the various trust funds that are going insolvent. We could do that. We could move to a biannual budgeting process. We could pass no budget, no pay. So legislators, members of Congress don't get paid every time we fail to do our basic job of appropriating. There are sensible things we could pair with the debt ceiling increase. That's what we're asking for.
But we're not going to allow a default on our debt. Last word to you.
I don't think we're
no, it's out of the question.
I don't think we're going to get to that point. Obviously, we play this fiscal chicken. It's a function of a dysfunctional process. It's part of the reason we had that bruising rules debate a few weeks ago. We don't want to wind up Christmas Eve next year passing a 5,000-page omnibus bill that nobody reads. It's crazy.
Well said, sir. Mike Gallagher, Congressman Gallagher, thanks very much for joining us, sir. Much obliged to you. Thanks.
Thank you.